Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good weekend. It is 4:29 today. I'm reviewing yesterday, Monday, April 28th. On a SPY, doing a small account challenge and daily options. Buy for now. As it grows, we'll move over to SPX. But Friday I was pretty red, and I wanted to make sure I was patient this week. Didn't come into the market until like 10ish, so kind of missed this first nice little move. Looks like it built liquidity in the first 10 minutes. Nice little head and grabbed that shoulder perfectly for a little move down. Started drawing channels. This red one I hadn't drawn until later. Yeah, I'll just review some of the trades that I could have done. Since I'm just doing one trade a day, again, it's trying not to have it get in my head that it has to be the greatest trade. I don't know. When I first started this challenge, I wasn't recording it, and it was actually going pretty well. Now that I'm trying to document it, I don't know if I'm in my head, I have pressure on myself now to perform or what. But anyways, yeah, when I first started, it was like a trade I was confident with, I'd take, and 20%, and I'd be happy. And I'm not sure, but anyways, so it flush below low a day, so really you're not looking for, I wouldn't be looking for longs unless it basically grabbed this little bit of liquidity up here, which isn't much anyways. So really trying to find out where it's building liquidity, and then trying to find a good entry to it to grab it. Anticipatory grab. Little head and shoulders here. This was actually kind of a choppy one. I almost jumped in on this one, and I'm glad I didn't actually. It stopped me out. But you see my green channel I drew here. Made a nice little head, and it was even. Yeah, look at that. It even clipped my my red channel here perfectly on the resistance, which was drawn from these supports. So getting puts there would have been somewhat typical. And then I don't know if there was news or what happened here, but yeah, just a stop on maybe big green candle after that, which definitely stopped people out. And I duplicated that red channel, and then it did complete that head and shoulders. So kind of a tricky one. If you are getting it here, you have to figure out where your stops will be. Realistically, mine probably would have been this red channel, so it would have been stopped there. So, but it did end up making that head and shoulders, grabbing that liquidity, and then your take profits. First should be at least by low a day, if not sooner. We started this yellow channel here. It's a pretty strong selling channel. That's what I duplicated here. It's actually like that, of course. So then you're taking profits, and then should be pretty much all out by here, or not. You can leave one or two or whatever for runners. Is it just built a little liquidity and then comes down? This will be your next one. So I didn't trade through any of this. We then ended up making. Yeah, so really this was kind of the complete, that's right. Yeah, that was here. So this was the inverse cup that completed. So now you're kind of looking for a handle. Came up, made the handle. I duplicated this green one again. So kind of an ugly setup here for a handle though, because it definitely was crappy, very trappy. Ended up bouncing there and I'm making a second handle, which as long as it's not soaking up all the sellers up to here, and it's still bearish. So seeing it now in hindsight, yeah, it's pretty clean trade right here on that green channel. Break the full one that the candle closes under, not just a wick. Same deal as here, same green channel, and then you have your inverse cup handle and grabbing whatever liquidity is left here. Just grind down, and then you have another one down here even. I hadn't drawn this white channel yet until later, but this white channel is kind of important. I don't think I had, at least. But anyways, made another little head and shoulders down here, little micro one. They break in the yellow and then the green, and grabbing shoulder and dropping. So this was another entry for one. It was also a perfect retest almost of kind of the support area right here and here and here. And then we have this red channel right here. Another important one to kind of look at. So if you're taking the puts there, So the trick with this one, why I didn't take this one, because I did see this. The pullback was small, which I don't like as much, but I still can take them. Part of the problem though is since I'm only doing one trade, it's like it's a small pullback. It's usually going to be a smaller move, so that's where it's like, yeah, psychological. But another so I actually had the white channel drawn at this point, because that was another reason why I didn't take this, and I need to stop doing that as much because basically I'm like, for the total confirmation for me for what I had drawn, it would be great breaking this green line here, and by the time it breaks here, my take profit is here and here, so the risk to reward there is just not great unless if I'm expecting a flush through this one right here. And since this is only touched twice, it's not like super confirmed, but yeah, to me that's just confirmed enough to where I might not have a whole lot for it to flush through here. So that's the reason why I didn't take this one, thinking it, it could literally just bounce here and then we retrace back up and retest the top of it. So this is also another trade right here, which is kind of a chase trade. When I have more trades, sometimes I do these. I usually don't, just because I'm allergic to chasing. I've conditioned myself to be that way, too much so to where I have a hard time doing it. But not only breaking opposite channels, as most of the entries and exits are, but if it's breaking the same direction, so this is kind of a big bearish channel, if it breaks that in a stronger selling channel like this yellow one, you can take those. It's you have to treat it as it is, and it's more of a quick in and out. Could be a scalp, whatever, especially if it's indicated with volume. So you had a big candle here, and you can tell this channel was respected because when it broke this, a lot of volume came in. It was a big candle. So this is another entry you could even take, but you got to treat it as it is, and that's pretty much it. So one more entry down here. So by the time we're down here, I'm thinking it's starting to taper quite a bit, meaning it's just starting to bottom out. It's not tested the bottom this red at all. On the longer time frame, on like the 30-minute and stuff, it looks like it's slowing down, and it's going to have some sort of retracement at least before it comes back down. So that's where I'm looking for even some mutual trades, where like bounce trades. But basically the reason why I didn't take this structure right here is just because I didn't feel like there's much leg down, but I need to get over that, even though it's one trade a day. So yeah, so pretty clear, pretty good looking one here. Got break the yellow, got a little shoulder of liquidity here it built, grabbed it, and then made a mini head and shoulders. So you got your bigger head and shoulder and then a mini head and shoulder, which is pretty common. You can see how it even bounced on this purple a couple times. So multiple entries here. This, like, trying to time the top on these is pretty difficult unless it's at like a perfect resistance. So maybe if it retraced up here, you could do it, especially if it had nice liquidity built on the way up. Or you can wait for your most aggressive buying channel like this one to be broken, so it'd be right here. If you don't get it there, then you probably get it here, and then you just have to be able to stomach if it wants to make another head, which it did in this case. So this closed below that green one, built another shoulder, and then made a little head, which is just basically a stop hunt, grabbing to build more to come down further. So there, if you can stomach this, basically your stop would be if it grabbed this up here, so higher than that, or breaking this orange channel out here, red one. Another entry, even if you missed both those, was the second little mini head and shoulder. So it'd be somewhere in here, either breaking this purple or coming down and moving into this liquidity here, right here on that candle. So any number of those, but as you see, it didn't have a whole lot of legs move down. Because yeah, so I duplicated the white one, it came here, it did break through that, but then it finally started respecting that as a taper. That can be a sign to go long or get a bounce, but you have to be careful with that because, again, it can keep grinding down this for forever. So then you're looking for other signs, other indicators that it's, both bulls and bears are trying to bring it up. You can start drawing something like this. I wasn't really, but you could say wait for that, or wait for a cup to close, or however you want to do it. Or you can say like, wait for it to break this white one. Yeah, that's pretty good. At any rate, yeah, I paper traded actually in here, and that's what I've been doing. I've been kind of paper trading, and then once there's a trade I'm the most comfortable with, I'll not paper trade and use the funds. I think I tried to get one of these bounces. Yeah, I think on this one. So in this case, I like to actually just sell puts, just daily puts at the money or even in the money some. You can get calls, but sometimes this is just a slow grind up and really just letting them decay, especially in the middle of the day. Volume's lower, takes much more time to build that liquidity, so it's not a quick move. Sometimes you get it. Sometimes I think you get one big money player in the market catching everyone off guard when they're all at lunch, and they make a big move, and everyone else is scrambling when they try to recover, or their algorithms are, or whatever. But typically low volume, middle of the day, and grindy action. So good for selling premium. Anyways, yeah, actually where did I sell my puts? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna review paper trades, but sold put somewhere in here and actually stopped out. I think it was, I can't remember where. And I don't even really quite know where I would have entered. I drew a channel here, potentially there for puts. I mean, or you could sell them on here realistically, like every time it touches here. So if you see it touch twice, you can sell it here and then just have your stop at break even. That's what's nice about selling puts, is your break even stop, you know, as time goes on, it's lower and lower just because it's decaying. So that's why I like it. So you could have stopped out and then touched it again. You could have sold a put again and just on and on. But one of these times it would have worked, and there it was. So I hadn't taken any trades yet for me. And at this point, I'm pretty much only waiting for the move back down. Thinking they built liquidity here. We're still bearish. Could just be a big bear flag. Doesn't have to, but I guess I didn't have bias necessarily, but that was kind of the trade I was waiting for. And it didn't end up happening, which is fine. So if you look here, actually, it's pretty interesting. So this same support right here, as you see duplicated, which started right here as a resistance, which your support, if you duplicate it up here, high day, that's kind of the final, that'd be kind of the final most weak bearish channel to break. Would be bullish, and it did break it, and then it built some ugly liquidity there. Could say this is your low inverse head and shoulder, but kind of disgusting. But this is pretty common to happen too. It breaks it, but it needs a little more liquidity to really rip out, and you're gonna get your final 10-minute trade and stuff. So my trade, I had to pay the piper. I got wrecked by the market maker on this one. So it's been a long time since it's happened to me, actually. This candle right here, I actually got puts on. And if you look on the option chain, you can see I got filled at like 26 cents. These contracts were going for like 12 to 13 cents. It started to go red. I liked it as a little shoulder and a head, and rejecting, basically rejecting continuation today to 5-day, going back to VWAP for safety, which was kind of the idea. But when I'm done trading, I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, it broke the final bearish channel here. It built clear liquidity there, and then yeah, I just saved it till a little longer. Potentially I would have taken this as a call. Calls right here when it broke this white one and the red one, and then you have a little inverse head and shoulders, but that's a pretty ugly one. Anyways, so they completely robbed me. I basically started to go red. I did market order and billed me at 26 cents. Immediately it was down like 45%. So it did kind of grind back down, but yeah, and I probably held them too long. I started doing some limit orders on some of them to try and scale out, because yeah, I just didn't believe in it anymore. And I don't think I got filled on one of them or two of them in here. They really didn't ever retrace to that price that market maker shafted me on. So I stopped out of the rest of them here. Big L on the account today, unfortunately. And when I'm trading with, you know, many more contracts, I'm not going to be able to do that. So need to be careful. And this is why even if you have a lot with, you know, a lot of money, you don't make huge trades and single trades like that. You has to be at the right scale. So this is where we're at. Now I'm back down to one contract, which is fine. Try and grind back up from here. One contract today. Market's been open for a bit. Start charting. I know the system works. Most of the corrections just are with myself. So yeah, that's what we got. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Should have a recap for today out today, hopefully. I was just yesterday I just couldn't do this one. I was pretty upset about that. Thanks, guys. Peace out.